What's up, Fit Fam? Coach Rye from Team Flex. Today we are talking about Bikini Division. We're reviewing Lauralie's Physique from 2022 Olympia to 2023 Olympia, and we're going to talk about some differences, some changes, some things that happened and led to her placings, as far as what it means as well for you and the criteria moving forward 2024 as a bikini competitor, doing your best no matter what level you're at. That's what I'm going to tell you to do in this video. And we got a killer giveaway too for Black Friday that you simply do not want to miss. So stick with me and let's get going. So Lauralie here, okay, 2022 right here over on the left, that's a 5th placer. Over here, 2023, that's a 4th placer. All right, there's a lot of differences in these physiques. And if you watched my prediction video, I had actually predicted Lauralie to potentially win Olympia this year. She took 4th. Was not a win for her. And I think there's some very specific reasons that happened. And also, I know that a lot of you have a lot of questions about, why she may have placed the way she did. So let's get into it. Let's just talk about this. So Bikini Division, as we know, it's all about the hourglass shape, width of the shoulders, taper at the waist, comes back out lower body. Everything's in perfect symmetry, harmony to create the hourglass aesthetic. So we're going to see Lauralie has that in both 2022 and 2023. It's not going to go away. There is some differences though. All right, so 2022, overall a more depleted look, a little bit, smaller in all of the muscles, leaner in general. We'll talk about conditioning in a minute, but, it looks like the shoulders, they still have that shape, not as full. 2023, a lot more fullness to the shoulder. That's showing up across the physique, just an overall fuller look, I would say. So more muscle in the shoulder, all of that there. That's, good for this division. And I think this is part of why she moved up in placings. Still not significant, like she wasn't second this year to Maureen or anything with in Maureen's spot, I mean. But basically, she did come up in placing, and I think it's because of more fullness and less of that overly lean look she had. But it's kind of interesting how her physique works because it's just variable across the board, right? In some spots it looks very lean, others it doesn't. So let's look. Shoulders look good, everything's there. Where she did kind of think a little bit in the wrong zone was in the waist. So she came in much thicker in the waist than she did in 2022. So this is a leaner waist look, which kind of enhances that tapered look, which is what judges want to see. Really important to have that. And I think in 2023, she almost came with a little bit more of an up and down type of look here. It's not obviously square. It's a little bit more kind of a rectangular. It's just less dramatic of a taper. It's still there, but a little less dramatic. And if we look at the abs here, you can see here's the oblique muscle. It's, very faint. Over here, it's a lot more developed. So I think that that's an indicator that, she may have added more size overall to her waist from having more of that oblique there, or just having more muscle overall, less of that depleted look. And I think that could have definitely shifted, a little bit from her placing higher in this year's Olympia. Still improved physique. And really we see that mostly down into when we move into the lower body. So she's got a lot of glute shape here. That's good. It's almost a little bit too much though, definitely for her physique in this division. She's kind of pushed the limit of muscularity, lower body in my opinion. And obviously going into this competition, I've seen the potential for her to win Olympia for a long time. I think she inevitably will eventually get it figured out and win. But this year, a little bit different, right? So she came in a little bit softer looking overall, more into the glute, more into the hamstring, more into the quad. You'll see over here, 2022, better level of conditioning in the sense that we can see, some of the muscle separation, some of the lines here. 2023, that is definitely gone away a little bit, and her lower body looks overpowering. So unfortunately, I think that was a big factor for her. Overbody kind of overpowered the upper body, and her conditioning is not consistent throughout her physique. So if we look upper to lower body looks like it's, virtually not really any even soft lines going on here. It's just a lot more heavier than it is upper body, where we can still see some of these softer lines and throughout the abs and everything. And that's especially different from 2022, where, she's got more of that soft line look throughout the whole physique. This is what judges want to see. So I think that was a big factor. And her moving up in placings, a 4th and 5th placing is pretty on par similar. It's consistent because, it just has to do probably more with the athletes that competed and how they came in versus her making a significant number of improvements. I think, honestly, if we look at 2022, her physique was probably better that year than it was this year, okay? And so we see that most from the back. So if you look at the back pose here, this is where, you know, everything is told. The tails are always told. You cannot hide from the back pose, ladies, all right? And so if we see here, you know, Lauralie, she has that very depleted look. Shoulders not as full. Definitely very lean, though. She came in a lot tighter here. I think it's too lean of a look for her, for sure. And I think that that's, you know, part of probably why she overdid the fullness this year, but she came in with a much softer look overall. You know, you see a lot more shoulder here. That's muscle, but that's also fullness, like a lot more carbs up. She's got just that full look, but it's almost to the point where I'm not even seeing a lot of rear deltoid lines, things like that, that we need to be seeing in this pose, and it can hurt you, all right? Where it's going to hurt you the most is lower body. So lower body 2022, you know, a lot of the markers of good bikini glutes, hamstrings, everything there. Upper glutes depleted, though, and this is to be expected with how lean she came in. That's going to not show as well. That's a factor for judges. Overall glute fullness, not as much. Hamstrings, not as much. Quads, not as much. But it is still very symmetrical. I mean, this is a more symmetrical look for her than it is over here in 2023. So 2023, you know, glutes very, very developed. A lot of that comes through, but it is overpowering her physique very, very much so, right? And like I said about the conditioning in front, the conditioning in back is the same thing. So, you know, we got a lot of glute fullness. These, you know, are disproportionately bigger than the rest of her physique. And the same goes with the quads. Like, look how much the quad sweep is on the outside versus 2022. So that's a heavier lower body look. It's heavier, you know, in conditioning. She's got more body fat, lower body than she had 2022 by far. Across the board. It's harder to see from the front, but you can still definitely see it if you know what you're looking for. Definitely can't deny it from the back, okay? So that's a factor for sure. I think it contributes. And also, I've said this in one of my other videos, I do believe she has an asymmetry with her glutes. So we have this both years, but it's more dramatic this year, 2023, because of how, you know, hypertrophied the glute muscle is, but also how much body fat she was carrying, lower body. So if we look here, you'll see here's kind of the bottom of Lauralie's glute on the left. Here it is on the right. So this is not necessarily lined up straight, okay? And my drawing is not maybe perfect, but it's definitely not straight. So that's there. That's okay. You know, it's less noticeable there. Here it is 2023, okay? Here's the bottom of her glute here. Here's the bottom of her glute over here. This is getting to be very disproportionate. And this, in my opinion, I mean, maybe it's a posing thing. Maybe her hips are off a bit. She might need, I don't really know. But I do see this a lot with athletes that have one side, they favor one or the other. And you really don't notice this as much until you get to the kind of the level where she's at, where the glutes are so hypertrophied. You're like, okay, that's blatantly noticeable now. Okay, but I'll tell you what, if we can notice this in pictures and we can notice it in videos and stuff like that, judges are for sure noticing this because they are looking constantly at every athlete's physique, up, down, left to right, symmetry, proportion, shape, everything has to come together perfectly. So that's really where Lauralie kind of got into that spot, and I think that's a big contributor for her. So that's where I think she really needs to nail a look in between these two looks, okay? Something where she's got some of the size that she's got from this year, coupled with, you know, the conditioning to match. Not as lean as 2022, not as soft as 2023. Somewhere in that middle zone is going to be her sweet spot, where she's going to be able to come in and win, you know, Olympia eventually. I've always said I think it's an eventually thing for her, not a if, okay? So that's what I think. And I almost forgot to tell you about the giveaway, but if you don't understand anything I just said, or you're confused about it, you don't know how to look at yourself like that and understand that kind of criteria and what you need to look like and where you need to go, we're doing 50 free physique assessments. It's crazy. 50 free physique assessments. I can't even fathom that it's going to kill me to do, but I'm going to do them for you to make you better. And basically what we do there is we assess, you know, your pictures. I give you areas of improvement, timelines to make those improvements, timelines for contest prep, and so on and so forth. Everything you need to know to be your best competitor. If you want to compete in bikini at any level, I can tell you how to do it better and give you a better chance, better feedback to do better on stage, save time, money, and energy doing it right out the gate better than you could be, okay? So definitely an opportunity you don't want to miss. Just sign up on the link in the description. Put your email in there or whatever we have you putting in. I think it's email. And then I'll contact you if you win. 50 of you will win, and you will get this, and it will change the game for you as a competitor. If you guys like the content that I do here, you're going to love what I can do with a physique assessment specific to you, all right? So You might have already left the video, but if you stuck with me and you're not on that list yet, you're crazy. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about Lauralie's physique. When was her best? Was it last year? Was it this year? What do you think? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.